Good morning, everybody. We're here today for a short meeting, hopefully, and this is Health and Human Services. And Ms. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderwoman Hubbard, Alderwoman Green, Alderwoman Spencer, Alderman Gunther.
Here.
Alderwoman Martin, Alderwoman Navarro.
Here.
Alderwoman Middlebrook,
Present.
Alderwoman Rice,
Present.
Chairman Arnowitz,
Present.
Alderwoman Hubbard, Alderwoman Green, Alderwoman Spencer, Alderwoman Martin, 5 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming in a little early today. This morning we have Resolution 221 before us, introduced by Alderwoman Christine Ingrassia, regarding encouraging disability inclusion. And Alderwoman, if you would like to speak on your resolution, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Resolution 221, as the Alderman mentioned, is to start discussing in a more formal way encouraging disability inclusion in the city of St. Louis. So when we had our minimum wage discussion here a few years ago, we did have an amendment that would have required sheltered workshops to be required to pay the minimum wage and not sub-minimum wage. We knew it wouldn't pass then, but we thought it was smart to start the conversation. And so since that time, the federal landscape has changed instrumentally. Federal contracts are no longer allowed to be awarded to anyone paying sub-minimum wage, and a number of states have phased out sub-minimum wage. In addition, we do have a sheltered workshop, or all the sheltered workshops in Sedalia, Missouri have been closed, and everybody is in inclusive employment. In my mind, this is sort of the last leg of what I think we thought we were doing right historically. We used to have folks with differing abilities living in institutions away from the rest of their communities and families, and we used to have people with differing abilities in different settings in schools instead of in the least restrictive environment. And this is sort of the last place where I think we're very delayed. And so I do have some folks who are stakeholders who would like to testify. I'm happy to take questions now or have them testify first, whatever your preference is.
We can go around if you have any questions of the Alderwoman, and if not, we can hear from whoever signed up to testify on this bill, if that's all right. So as we go around the table, Alderwoman Green, did you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Alderwoman Spencer, you're not here. Alderman Gunther?
No questions.
Alderwoman Navarro?
My only question is, do you think that there's legislation, so this is kind of getting a conversation, a more formal conversation going. Do you anticipate legislative things that need to be done that are binding?
I think eventually, yes, we'll probably get there. I am working with Ken Franklin, who sits on the DD Resources Board, to start talking about what we can do as a community. Maybe that looks like a pilot project or something first, but like everything, we struggle to find sometimes the funding. But I think it's a smart challenge to accept and something that we can take the lead on here in the city of St. Louis.
And then do we join other municipalities or counties in passing something like this?
Sarah Unsecker has a resolution introduced at the state level, and it's my understanding that Councilwoman Lisa Clancy is introducing something soon at the county council. Yeah, so hopefully there will be a more regional effort in that regard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No further questions?
No further questions. Alderwoman Rice. I'm sorry. Alderwoman Middleton.
No questions.
Thank you. Alderwoman Rice.
I don't have any questions, but thanks for bringing this forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No further questions. Susan Eccles.
You can right up here.
You can sit right up there.
Introduce yourself.
I think the chair on the left is a little taller.
I'm scooting this one down.
I like me.
Let me get this out of the way.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to testify here. My name is Susan Eccles. I'm the managing attorney of Missouri Protection and Advocacy Services. We're the state protection and advocacy system for the state of Missouri. We are happy to support Resolution 221. It is long past time to encourage competitive, community-based, full-blown employment for people with disabilities. The subminimum wage 14C exemption for sheltered workshops was first passed in 1936. It is outdated. there have been significant cultural changes regarding people with disabilities since the sub-minimum wage was first enacted, among them being fuller inclusion and the passing of the ADA. People with disabilities who are on benefits can work up to a certain financial level without losing their benefits, and there are services and programs in place to help them plan their benefits so that they don't endanger themselves by working at a higher wage. But ideally, if people with disabilities are given the opportunity to be included in competitive, well-paying community jobs, they may have the opportunity to get off benefits altogether and be fully self-supporting. Regardless of whether a person's working part-time up to the limit or full-time at a competitive wage, it benefits everyone. It benefits the person with the disability because there's dignity and purpose in working, and it increases the quality of life, and it benefits the community because you can pay taxes, contribute to the tax base. There's a ripple effect. You may be able to buy a home, buy a car, and so on and so forth. So there's an economic benefit all around. We, again, are very happy to see this resolution. We hope that it does pass through the committee and through the full board, and thank you very much for bringing it. Do you have any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Can I just say?
You can say whatever you want.
Thank you. I used to practice special education law and disability discrimination law with Tom Kennedy, and familiar with Missouri P&A, and I definitely want to add my name as a co-sponsor to this, and just want to thank you for all of your work. We often represented clients in some of the sheltered workshops, and are familiar, and also the schools for the severely disabled, which are, whenever you're excluding people from the greater community, it causes a lot of damage. So I'm so grateful that you're there.
Thank you very much.
I guess I was just gonna ask at this time, would anybody like to add their name to this resolution?
At 9.
Yes. I'm fine.
Okay.
You can add my name also. Ms. Eccles, thank you, and I know if we can get this worked out, I know the people working the shops will be very much appreciative of it, and everything else. Did anyone else want to speak? I know we didn't have time. We have a couple minutes.
I'll say a few things.
If you sit up there and just introduce yourself.
I'm Derek Weatherell. I'm with Paraquad, the Center for Independent Living in St. Louis. I don't know if everyone got a written statement that's more formal from our department director, Kim Lackey. Can I pass him starting over here? I would just like to add, in addition to what Susan Eccles said, what Kim Lackey has drafted for you all, that I think that this really gets us to a point to where it's a mindset change. And it says, like, the city of St. Louis believes that folks with disabilities are capable of working and being a part of our community. And it's incredibly exciting. And I really appreciate all the work that you've done, all the women in Ingrassia. So that's all I got.
Alderwoman Green.
Just have a quick question.
Yeah.
So a couple years ago when we were doing the minimum wage fight, we tried to eliminate some minimum wage in the city, and we got a lot of pushback and it ended up getting overturned. What steps do you see that we could take toward doing that or something similar? I mean, that might be a longer conversation.
Yeah,
I feel like it's part of this, is
I feel like
getting the
this
ball
is
rolling on that.
The start of the conversation. I don't know if you had walked in yet, but I am working with Ken Franklin, who sits on the board of DD Resources, and some stakeholder groups to start having more formal conversations.
Okay, that's great.
That seems like the most appropriate place for it to be
Okay.
happening.
Thank you.
But I do think that the city being a model employer and working towards that will really be helpful.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? If not, I will entertain a motion that we pass Resolution 221 out of committee with a due passage.
I move that we pass Resolution 221.
Second.
Due pass recommendation.
Hearing a due pass resolution,
call the
and a
roll?
second, if we could please call the roll.
Alderwoman Hubbard.
Aye.
Alderwoman Green.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer. Alderman Gunther.
Aye.
Alderwoman Martin. Alderwoman Navarro.
Aye.
Alderwoman Middlebrook,
Aye.
Alderwoman Rice,
Aye.
Chairman Arnowitz.
Aye.
You have 7 aye votes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. That concludes today's hearing. I want to thank everybody for showing up early. And just while you're here, so you know ahead of time, I've scheduled a Health and Human Services meeting for next Wednesday at 10 o'clock.